interview to discuss one of another important topic. Again, it's not technical, but at the same time, it is very important from interview point of view. If you remember my last live stream video, which I did today morning, in that live streaming, I discussed about important HR interview questions. In this video, I'll be discussing about important project management interview question. These are also very important interview question, and it's very rare that any of your technical interview will go without these questions. There are very high chances that questions around these will be asked. Questions around project management is asked to gauge that whether the candidate has really worked on real time or not, or he is just prepared and he's just trying to enter into this technology. Okay, so this is really very important thing which I believe that you should prepare well before sitting into your interviews. Before moving ahead, let me just quickly check whether I'm streaming live or not. Just give me 1 minute and let me quickly check on my LinkedIn and YouTube that I'm live streaming or not. My video is streaming or not. If I'm visible and audible to everyone, if anyone can comment and confirm that I am visible, then it will be very good. Yeah, um I think I'm visible. Just allow me 1 minute. Okay. In Instagram, I think I'm not visible. Yeah. But now I think that in Instagram also I am visible. Just let me quickly check YouTube channel. So I'm streaming on multiple platforms simultaneously, like in three platforms: YouTube, LinkedIn, and Instagram. So just let me quickly check that everything is working fine. Yeah, fine. I think everything is going good. Okay. So yeah, that's what I was talking about. So if you are sitting into interviews, then make sure to prepare these questions. Okay, because questions will revolve around this. It can be in any. You are sitting in an interview of any technical interview like data engineering or data analyst or data scientist or web development or anything. Anything in any technology, you are sitting questions around these will be very much high chances that questions around these things will be asked, because as per my experience, I have also come across these questions, and many of my students who has given the interviews, they also have come across these questions. So it's very necessary that you prepare these questions. Let me quickly share my screen and let me take you to my website. Now I think that my screen is visible to everyone, and this is my website, and in this website I have already listed project management interview question. If you see my last live stream video, that was regarding HR interview questions, in which I discussed about HR interview questions, and I also told you that I'll be writing few point wise answers here, which I have already written. So look into these HR interview questions. And apart from this HR interview question, there is one another aspect that I'm going to talk right now, that is project management interview questions. So I've listed down the important questions, which there are very high chances that questions around these are asked. So the first question that I've listed down in this project management interview question is like, what do you think is agile methodology? Okay, and have you ever worked on this kind of methodology? Okay, so let me tell you, like in software development life cycle, that is called, in short form, that is called as SDLC. Okay, SDLC means software development life cycle. So whenever any product is developed in any organization, there is a life cycle for that. Okay, software development life cycle. Okay, life cycle, there is a life cycle that, and inside that SDLC, it there comes something called agile methodology. Okay, it is a methodology in which a project is managed, in which engineers, a way in which engineers work. Okay, like suppose I'm taking just an example. Suppose I need to prepare a pipeline. Okay, so first of all, what will happen? Requirement will be coming to the someone who is leading the team, right? Like to someone who is leading the team, right? And then that requirement is divided across team members. Like suppose there is a team. Okay, so I'm just telling you the how is the structure of team. Like suppose there is a team and that team is developing a pipeline or developing a data pipeline or developing any kind of product, and that product in that team. So for developing that product, what could be the arrangement of team? Okay, so it can be that there are it might be possible that there are four engineers working in that team. Like I'm taking from data engineering point of view. I'm talking from data engineering point of view right now. Four data engineers are working in that team. One lead engineer is working in that team, and one scrum master is working in that team. Okay, so this might be the, I mean, setup of your team. Okay, four data engineers, one lead data engineer, and one scrum master. Okay, so these six people may be working in a team. There might be more data engineers or more engineers working in your team. I just took an example. Okay, so what happens? Four data engineers, one lead engineer, and one scrum master. Okay, this scrum master, it's someone who does the sprint planning. Okay, let me quickly open a notepad and then start discussing on this. Okay, I'm talking about agile methodology right now. And in this agile methodology, I told you like four data engineers are working, one lead data engineer is working, and one scrum master is working. Okay, in that particular in a particular project. Okay, now this scrum master, okay, in this agile methodology, okay, there is something called sprint. Okay, there is something called sprint. Okay, and one sprint is of 2 weeks. Okay, one sprint is of 2 weeks. Each sprint, the duration of each sprint is 2 weeks. Okay, and there is something called quarterly plan, or you can say, let's start like this: yearly plan, quarterly plan, and sprint plan. Okay, sprint plan. Okay, so whatever the organization wants to achieve in a particular year, okay, that comes under yearly plan. Whatever the organization wants to achieve in a particular quarter, that comes under quarterly plan. Okay, and whatever, I mean, the team wants to achieve within 2 weeks, okay, that comes under sprint plan. So what happens, I mean, first of all, in any organization, yearly plan is made. Like in this year, what all works we will be doing. Okay, then quarterly plan is made. Like what are the quarterly plans? We will divide the work that we have planned for the whole year, for the entire year, into 4 quarters. Like in this quarter, I'll be achieving this. In this quarter, I'll be achieving this. In this quarter, I'll be achieving this. And in this quarter, I'll be achieving this. Like 4 quarters are there, right? So your team's whole yearly work is divided into 4 parts, and then each quarter is divided into multiple sprint. Like in a quarter there are almost 8 sprints. Okay, 8 sprints. So 8 sprints are there. So in a sprint plan, what happens? 2 week plan is created. Okay, 2 week plan is created. Like in 2 weeks, what all things we'll be achieving. Okay, and all these plans are created by someone called scrum master. This is scrum master, which I have written here. Okay, all these plans are created by someone called scrum master. Okay, a scrum master, this person is specifically for the project management. Okay, all these plans are created by scrum master, that what all targets are there that we want to achieve Now, so this is the most basic level of planning that happens. Okay, I mean 2 weeks plan is the most basic level of planning that happens in a that is done in project by Scrum Master. Okay, now there is something called sprint planning. Okay, there is something called sprint planning, and this sprint planning. There is something called sprint planning, and this sprint planning. In this sprint planning, as I said, we Scrum Master makes 2 weeks plan, 2 weeks plan, and then work is divided. Work is divided across engineers. Okay, whoever engineer or whoever developer is working in that team. So 2 weeks plan, 2 weeks task is given to every engineer or every developer who is working in that project, that particular project. Okay, to suppose I am one of the engineers, so some task will be assigned to me. There is another engineer, some task will be assigned to him. There is another engineer, some task will be assigned to him. There is another engineer, some task will be assigned to him. So all the engineers will be assigned task of 2 weeks by the scrum master. Okay, a scrum master is responsible for assigning tasks to every data engineer for each sprint. Okay, so in sprint planning, the scrum master scrum master assigned Scrum Master created 2 weeks plan, and it assigned to the Scrum Master assigned the task to the developers or the engineers. Okay, this is the first thing. Now the second thing is, so this is comes under sprint planning. Okay, this comes under sprint planning. Now after assignment of work, after assignment of 2 weeks plan, 2 weeks plan means 10 days, because there are 10 working days in there are 10 working days in 2 weeks, right? In 1 week 5 days, and in another week 5 days, Saturday Sunday is off. So generally there are 10 working days. So this scrum master assigned 10 days task to every engineer, every developer working in that team on that particular project. Now after assignment of the task, what happens? After assignment of the task, after assignment of the task, there is something called there is something called just 1 minute. Yes, there is something called stand up call. Okay, there is something called stand up call. Okay, so first of all, sprint planning call happens. In this sprint planning happens, this is also a kind of call. Actually, I mean a kind of meeting in which all the team members are present. In this sprint planning, two work 2 weeks 2 weeks task is assigned to every engineers. And after this sprint planning call, there is stand up call. This call is daily. Okay, daily update call. Okay, so this call is daily update call. It means that daily this call happens at a particular time, like 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. or 11 a.m. Daily this call happens, and this stand-up call is also led by Scrum Master. Okay, Scrum Master leads this call also. Okay, this call is also led by Scrum Master. This call is also led by Scrum Master. So daily we have to give update. I mean, this is daily update call, right? So we have to inform Scrum Master about the progress that we have made. Okay, inform Scrum Master about the progress that we have made. Progress or any blocker. Okay, let me write it here only, or any blocker. Okay, progress or any blocker in the task assigned. Whatever task is assigned to every engineer gives their update that we have reached up to here, we have reached up to here, we have developed this thing, and also informs about any blocker. Okay, that I'm blocked in this, I'm not able to figure out this, or I need to connect with that team to know more. If I have dependency or another team, then I will tell that I need to connect with that particular team to get more information about that. So all this kind of communication happens. Okay, and this is stand-up call. This call happens daily. Okay, timing may vary. I mean, somewhere it takes place at 2 p.m., somewhere at 1 p.m., somewhere at 11 a.m. Any, I mean, it is not fixed. Timing may vary based on what your Scrum Master decides that at this time we will have a stand-up call. Okay. After a stand-up call, okay, so this stand-up call goes on for 2 weeks, that is for 10 days. Okay. And after 10 days, okay, whatever task was assigned to you in this sprint planning, okay, in this sprint planning call, whatever task was assigned to you for 2 weeks, those tasks should be completed. Okay. Ideally, those tasks should be completed. If those tasks you could not complete due to any reason, you have to inform the Scrum Master that I could not complete this task because of this and this reason. Okay. Also, you are giving update daily to the Scrum Master, so he knows that what blockers if you are facing. So if you are facing any issue, you can easily inform your Scrum Master must be knowing that Arun is blocked here, okay, and that's why he could not complete the task. So that is fine. It simply means that we need to keep our Scrum Master informed about every progress or every blocker that we are facing. Okay. So now this was the sprint planning call. After sprint planning call, stand up call. This stand up call will keep on going for 2 weeks or 10 days, and then after 2 weeks sprint ends. Okay, because that is particular sprint was of only 2 weeks, right? So after 2 weeks that sprint will end, and then there is something called sprint retrospective call. Okay, sprint retrospective call, and this sprint retrospective call happens on the 10th day or on the end of the 2 weeks. Okay, in this call is also led by Scrum Master only, and in this call Scrum Master starts discussion around what went good or what went bad in the previous sprint. Okay, let me write it here. In this call, Scrum Master discuss about what went good and what went bad in the previous sprint. Okay, I hope that this is making sense to you. Okay, this is how a project moves on. So after this call, a new sprint starts. New sprint of 2 weeks again start. Okay, because the previous sprint has ended, right? And we have to achieve this yearly plan. And I told you that the sprint plan is the lowest level of planning that happens in a project, that is 2 weeks plan. So after one sprint is ended, now next sprint planning takes place. Okay, next sprint planning next sprint planning takes place. It means next sprint planning of next 2 weeks takes place. It means what the team will be doing in next 2 weeks, that planning takes place. And again your sprint starts, and after that again the same process repeats. Okay, then again a stand up call happens. Okay, a stand up call happens, and then again after a stand up call, again after 2 weeks sprint retrospective call happens, like what went well in the previous sprint and what didn't go well. Okay, the same process repeats. Again we have new sprint planning call. Again new sprint planning call take place, and again stand up call take place, and again retrospective call takes place. So in this way, the project keep on moving. Okay, every 2 week we plan, we work, and then we look. After 2 weeks, we look back and see that what went well and what didn't went well. Okay, so this is what is this agile methodology. Okay, this is not exactly agile methodology, but this is the process in which project moves on. Okay, we have generally two kind of methodology in software development life cycle. Okay, we have generally two kind of methodology in software development life cycle, guys. These are very important things like that I am discussing. Okay, these are implemented in every project. So if you are not working in any of this kind of scenario, so if you will work somewhere as developer, then I mean, this is how the industry moves on. You will have to work in these way only. Okay. So here and there you will see, somewhere this thing will come in front of you. Okay. This process will come in front of you because this is the standard process whole across the world. Okay. So you need to understand this, right? So generally there are two methodology in which a software development moves on. And the first methodology is this agile methodology, and another one is agile methodology, and another one is waterfall model. Okay, waterfall model. So in waterfall model, first let's look into this waterfall model. So in this waterfall model, okay, your plan is already ready. Okay, you already know what you have to build. Okay, you already know what you have to develop. Okay, you already know there will be no change will be entertained in waterfall model. Okay, so like suppose a project has been assigned to me and I already know all the requirement that what I need to do. Okay, so I will analyze that requirement, and after analysis I will give timeline that this can be developed in 6 months or this can be developed in 7 months, right? So that timeline will become fixed that in 6 months this task will be done because I already know the task and I already know the requirement, and the requirement is not going to change. But in this agile methodology, okay, your plan may change. Okay, whatever you are developing, it may be possible that the leadership team says that we have to also include this functionality or this capability in this software. Okay, or we have to also include this in this pipeline. Okay, so what is happening, your plan is changing, right? Your plan is changing, although initially, I mean, yearly plan or quarterly plan is made, okay, at the initial point of time, but it may be possible that whatever plan we made for yearly or quarterly, okay, uh, is not, I mean, is not, I mean, you can say like your suppose your plan changed, whatever you wanted to develop, you want to do some more addition uh, in that software. Okay, so what will happen, you are adding new task, right? So of course the timeline will be changing, right? So your yearly plan and quarterly plan will be changing, right? So this kind of flexibility is there in this agile methodology. It simply means your plan may change. Okay, that's why you keep on planning every 2 weeks, that in this 2 week we'll be doing this, in this 2 week we'll be doing this. And it might be possible that leadership team says that we also need to include this functionality which was not earlier there in plan. Okay, so that functionality will be included. So in this agile methodology there is this flexibility that you can change your plan in the middle of work as well. Okay, so this is what this agile methodology is. So these are the two important and famous methodologies, agile methodology and waterfall methodology. In waterfall methodology, your task and timeline are decided at the initial point only, it's not going to change. Okay, so these were some of the important things, and now let me take you to these questions. So understanding these things, whatever I just explained, is very important because, as I said, that it is very, I mean, it is asked in interviews. These are very important questions. Okay, one more thing I forgot to tell you. So these things, this is sprint planning call, then a stand-up call, okay, and then sprint retrospective call, all these things, these are different ceremonies. Sprint planning call, stand-up call, sprint retrospective call, these are called nothing but ceremonies. Okay, ceremonies from project management point of view, these are different ceremonies. Okay, and there is a project management tool, there is a very famous project management tool, and that is called as Jira. Okay, there is a company called Atlassian, that is a, I mean, it is a very famous company. So this Atlassian is a very famous company. Okay, so this Jira is product of this Atlassian company. This is an Australian based company, and this also gives very good CTC. Okay, so this Jira is that project management tool in which tasks are assigned. Okay, so every engineers or every member in the team, like I discussed here, suppose there are 6 members, so every 6 member will have access to this Jira dashboard, Jira board. Okay, and this task will be assigned. Like suppose I have to do two tasks in one particular sprint, so two tasks will be assigned to me. Suppose another engineer has to do three tasks, then three tasks will be assigned to him. Okay, so you can, I mean, you can Google and look into this Jira. Okay, this Jira is very famous tool that is used widely across industry for project management. So this is Jira tool which is used by everyone for following this agile methodology. Okay, and there is something called One more thing I want to talk about, and that is Confluence. Okay, this Confluence is also a tool of Atlassian. Okay, Atlassian, Atlassian. Okay, and this is this tool is for documentation purpose. Okay, so this tool is for documentation purpose. So if you are developing any software, if you are developing any software, and so whatever software you are developing, okay, you have to document it, right? Otherwise, what will happen? You are developing the software and you are forgetting the things. Then what will happen? I mean, whatever, like suppose you have taken 1 year to develop the software, okay, you just kept on coding for 1 year. What you did 6 months back, you will forget, right? What I was adding this functionality, now how this functionality is working, I'm not able to recall, right? It's all knowledge game, right? You are thinking and you are coding, but you need to document that somewhere else as well, okay? So that if you leave the organization and some other engineer come, they can look into document and they can understand that what you wrote in the code. Okay, I hope that you are getting this point what I'm trying to say. So there is something called Confluence. This Confluence is also very much widely used across any, I mean, if you're developing any product, whether it is data science, AI, ML, data engineering, data analyst, or web development, anything you are doing, this Confluence is the tool. I mean, this Confluence is the technology that is used for the documentation purpose. These two, I mean, Jira and Confluence both are cloud-based technologies. It means you can just access it from your browser. You don't need to install anything in your system. Okay. Yeah, so these were the two important things. Now let me go to these questions that I have listed down here in uh, website. You can access this again by going into miscellaneous section. And as I said that in miscellaneous, I put some random topics. So here, like HR and interview question and project management interview question. Here I've written something about GPU and AI. Our team keep on blogging on this website. So we are updating our website very rapidly. So keep visiting our website and streamline your preparation. Okay, so let's go into this project management question, and here it is. The first question is, what do you think is agile methodology? So I have already explained. So in agile methodology, the task and the timeline, okay, may change in between your work, okay, but in waterfall methodology it is fixed, okay. So here, have you ever worked on this kind of methodology? So you have to say that yes, I have worked on this kind of methodology, because everywhere nowadays agile methodology is in very much wide use. Now the second question is, what is difference between agile methodology and waterfall methodology? I have already given answer for this question. Have you ever used Jira and Confluence in your project? I have also given answer for this question. Let me quickly show you. Like, you can just search for Jira and it will come up. You see, this is Jira. Okay, so I need to sign up and set up the board. There are few things that I need to do, and once you do, I mean, your board will be set up. And Confluence. So Confluence, you can also Google this. This is also very famous tool actually. So like you can see, these are the Confluence pages, right? These are the Confluence pages in which you can document your things. Okay. Now, what is sprint planning and what is the duration of each sprint? So sprint planning is nothing but it is the planning call for next 2 weeks, that what the team will be doing in next 2 week. Okay. So this is called sprint planning. And what is duration of each sprint of your project? So duration is 2 weeks. Okay. You have to remember this. And what is the role of a scrum master of your team? And what is your team size? So your team size, you can see my team size is 5 or 6. And my role of a scrum master is, what is the role of scrum master? Role of a scrum master is managing the project. Okay. The role of a scrum master is managing the project. The scrum master does three kind of scenarios. There are many other tasks that a scrum master does, but you can say that there are majorly many things that a scrum master does. But if I talk about the important things, then sprint planning call, stand up call, and sprint retrospective call. Okay, these are done by the scrum master. Scrum master manages the project. You just have to simply see this. Okay. Now, what is sprint planning? Stand-up call and sprint review call. Sprint review call, or you can say retrospective call. Both are same thing. Okay, I have written here sprint review. Sprint retrospective, you can also say here sprint review call. Okay, sprint review call. Okay, does these ceremonies happen in your project? So you have to say yes, these ceremonies happen in our project. Okay, so these were very important questions, and I hope that these questions, I mean, you liked this video, because I'm very much sure that this video will be very much helpful for you in your upcoming interview. Whether you are, I mean, you might be giving your interview for any technology. Okay, everywhere this project management thing is used. So I hope that you like this video. Uh, Stay connected. Do comment if you have any question to ask. Okay, I'll be happy to answer. And also, like, if you have any question, you can comment here. I mean, you can, we have comment section enabled in our blog, so you can log in with your ID and you can start commenting here. If you have any question, I'll be happy to answer. Thank you everyone. Thank you. Take care. Bye.